Hello everyone, this is Minnie here with another replay review. Before we review today's game, which is going to be a Tier 9 Kitakaze, quick reminder, make sure to hit like on the video, and if you like the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see more great content. So today, we're watching a Tier 9 Kitakaze game. Kitakaze is the tech tree destroyer for the Japanese at the 9th tier, and is widely considered to be one of, if not the best, gunboat destroyers in the game, and destroyers at Tier 9 as well. So, we're watching Slavantor69 here. Nice name. And let's get this replay going. So, first thing while we're waiting for it to start, let's take a look. Okay, 2 battleships, 5 cruisers, 5 DDs. If I'm as the Kitakaze, what am I thinking on the enemy team? I gotta watch out for the sap. This thing, I should straight beat it in a gunfight, but it's still gonna be dangerous. Mogador will be a pain in the butt, double Jutland, and then gotta watch out because there is a fair amount of radar on the enemy team. No CV, which means less chance of being spotted, but also it's going to be harder to deal with the amount of DDs that are going to be hunting you, especially if you get caught out with radar. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see how he does this game. And we'll just speed it up a little at the start. So first thing straight off the bat we're seeing is 50,000 health lead, looking around. Looks like he's going straight in for B. Looks like he's going straight towards B. Always good, if you're willing to have your torpedoes up, because torpedoes mean you can't be detected. Let me scroll out a little so hopefully I don't get that odd angle on watching a ship anymore. Okay. Speed it up a little. Going straight in towards B, especially with a Friesland support. Friesland doesn't have torps, but these are 2 really nasty Tier 9 gunboats. Buffalo for radar support means he should feel comfortable pushing B here, which is what he's doing and why he's doing it. Looking at the rest of the team, hard push towards C from a group, small push towards A. Probably thinking at this point, go support A after B. Just looking around. Okay, Mogador over there. So that's already the French one out of the way. Got a rune close. Is he going to open fire? Not yet. But because the rune is so close, he's also going to drift the cap. So he's not going into the cap. He's staying away from the cap. He now knows that the YOLO Emilio is over at A, and there's also another DD there. So he's looking at a max of 2 DDs here plus the rune.
Engine boost activated.
Interesting to activate the engine boost right there. Not sure how I feel about that. It's good for backing up. Okay, so he's found the Yagumo. Yagumo's trying to, and so he's just going to spam that Yagumo down as much as possible while he's spotted. So if you're wondering why he activated the engine boost, he's using the engine boost as a cheat. He's going to back himself into B to help the Friesland, and if you notice, the Friesland, who he's dived with, has also done the same thing and backed in, but he's going to back himself into B, and he's using the speed boost as an ability to quickly push out. So this is very key to high-tier DD play and stuff in clan battles or in King of the Sea tournaments or such. Backing your DD into the cap. Why do you back it in? Quicker to get out. You don't have to do a big loop around. You can just pull straight out. Speed boost being activated means 1, he gets into the cap quicker because he's speed boosting backwards quicker, and 2, he also gets out of the cap quicker if need be. Sees the torps, so he's safe. He's stopping for right now. Friesland's left the cap. He's also holding off on the cap because of the fact that there is the Yagumo still there. Now, nothing spotted. Looks like he's going to back up into the cap here. He's waiting for that Yagumo to show up. Oh, there's the radar. So, going to start burning down the rune. Yagumo's not in a great position to be hit anyway. Leading a little far there unless you're trying to get the aft fire. Leading a little far there for the aft fire. There we go. Now he's just going to burn him down. You look at how much his HE is doing already. Now, if you didn't notice, obviously, he's smoke boost. Why I'm pausing here, one thing I am noticing, just as a recommendation, is there's a lot of twitchiness on the aiming. You're twitching, constantly changing your aim. Give it a little bit smoother, like you're aiming around, and it feels like you're more trying to go for a shotgun dispersion effect where you're guaranteed to hit some, instead of trying to focus on a rune which you can hit and really pound that superstructure. If you're trying to go for fires, and you're wanting to spread it up and down the ship to try to get fires, that's one thing, but with the lack of fires here, I suspect that he possibly is running on IFHE. I do not have access to Captain Build, so I don't know. Meanwhile, Neptune and Mogador are fighting over at sea. There's the rune again. Okay, switches to the Iowa. Good choice to switch to the Iowa. The rune and the Iowa are right there. You're going to be able to see the Iowa for a lot longer than the rune. More superstructure, so you can really chunk it. You're not, as the DD, his concern isn't killing the rune right now. It's to get out as much damage as possible, saturate the ship, get the fires burning, force out DCPs. Now, looking at this from a team perspective right now, his team is in a rough spot. They're down 2 DDs already, which is not a place you want to be, to 1 DD over here. And both of their DDs died in C, so C is now free for the Jutland to take, and on A side, you look, their Jutland is being forced out by the YOLO and the Jutland, and a Rune and a Buki aren't going to be enough to win that fight. So, let's continue to watch here. Just continuing to go for the burn. IFHE, if he is running it, is an advantage with the ability to pen the 32mm armor, because IFHE will allow most Japanese DDs at the higher tiers to pen 32mm armor. But I personally, and some of my friends that I've taken recommendations from, actually avoid the IFHE, because you still want to have the fire chance and consider swapping it out for Demolition Expert and another 1 tier, 1 point cap skill. Okay, so B's been taken. At this point, what I'm seeing, and he's doing exactly what he should be doing, he's pushing to C. Here's why you're pushing to C, because as you watch it, Jutland's not going to win the fight at A. Friesland's already going to help the Jutland, so putting 3 over there is overkill. By going towards C, he's hoping to be able to counteract their Jutland that's at C and go and deal with everything that is there. The Buffalo is going to be a pain in the butt with the radar, but this is the right play to make. This is the right play to make. Hopefully the Alaska turns around here. Now, Buffalo's almost dead. And Buffalo's dead, which removes one of the 2 radars over there. He still has a radar he has to deal with as he comes into this channel, but that's removed one of the 2 radar ships, so he's in a much more comfortable position pushing towards C. Speed it up just here. Okay, so he's going to look for the Buffalo there. So, he was already looking. You see, as the Torp's loaded, he used the Torp reload booster because he's paying attention to his map, and he knew the Buffalo had a good chance to be there. So my guess, before even watching this, is he's going to Torp the Buffalo as we go through. And he does. Is he going to open fire? I would not open fire. He has not opened fire yet. That's the right call. You're not in a position you would probably win the fight, but you take more damage than you need to. Wait until you're almost out of range. Exactly. So he's not detected, and he managed to get some pretty good chunks onto that Buffalo before the Buffalo went out from behind. He's trying to back up. It's going to be a little late for the backup. He's checking his Torps. Torps look decent, but I think the Buffalo's dead before because he got the spot. Looks like the Torps are going to hit. That's going to be his first kill, and that's a good use of Torps there. Clean Torp, boom, there we go, well done. Now, he's got 2 over here. The Yagumo and the Jutland are over here now, so he's still got to deal with this. He can win this fight, though. A lot of DDs are going to think, I can't win this fight. The Kitakaze is such a good gunboat, he can win this fight, especially if he can keep them isolated, which right now, because of this, he has them isolated, so he has at least 3 sets of shots before the Yagumo gets into range, and that's easily looking at plus 5,000 damage onto the Jutland if he hits it correctly. Let's see, first set, look, now that Yugumo's in position, and as I said, he had 3 shell sets out. Jutland's dead now, and he's starting to turn an angle. Good. There's the second kill. Now he's going to focus down the Yugumo. Good choice, good choice, good choice. Kill out the Yugumo. That's the big threat right now. If you get the DDs down, you are going to run C-Cap all day. And you can just see how much damage he's doing. Still staying outside the cap, which is good. But that should be a dead Yugumo here. I'm gonna watch and make sure, but that should be a dead Yugumo here. Yugumo's trying to slow down and cheat it. Slav is also backing up if you notice. Ooh, and the Yugumo does get the JB. But that Yugumo is all but dead. And there they go. Alaska radar. You should have a view on him any second. He realizes it. There we go. Starts trying to pot shot over the island. That's going to be a hard shot to make, I think, with that island there. Well, he does have the angle just barely. So once he has the angle, he's just going to fire until that thing's dead. Dead on this salvo, I believe. Ooh, that's painful. Not even his fault, just bad luck it got away. It's not going to get away for long. But even though he doesn't kill the Yugumo there, he has now successfully, absolutely dominated C-Cap. Jutland's dead, Yugumo's almost dead, so the Yugumo cannot push. If the Yugumo pushes, he will get radared, he will get killed. Nothing they can do. C is going to be taken. Meanwhile, looking at the map for them, B is still being held. The Jutland and the Friesland successfully disengaged from that, and those 4 ships over there now have to push across as these guys are doing a kiting action away. Focus is going to be on the Yugumo. After the Yugumo, as it looks like he's already doing, take the Iowa first. Why the Iowa and not the JB? 1, Iowa is closer. 2, Iowa is more of a threat than JB. Yes, JB has the reload booster, but I would prefer to kill off an Iowa as well, especially because the Iowa's in a more threatening position. JB is making it hard as these ships push around, yes, but Iowa's going to be in a position where he's going to get this cross shots here. So if the Alaska, the Missouri, and the Buffalo push out, Iowa's going to have Citadel length broadside shots right down into them and see. Or he's going to turn this way and he's going to have a Jutland, Friesland, and Ibuki. Right now he could try to cross shot Citadel the Ibuki. Rune's good worry because we're not seeing it, but right now, good play. This should be a cap for Slav. And here goes the damage. And he's saying, you know what, I can outplay here. I'm not going to get shot by the Iowa. Iowa's not even focusing him, which is because he's got a bigger threat in the Alaska. And just peppering that superstructure. One thing I will say, like, once again, the shooting's a little twitchy, and you can see how it's not really getting great ones because before it disappeared, it was 3, 4, and 1. The shooting's a little twitchy. Launches the torps, back to shooting again. Got a set of torps out there. Actually, he's got 2 sets. He used the reload booster again. So that should put the Iowa onto a pretty locked line. There's the flood. There's a fire finally. Back up into the smoke so you can continue to just kite him sitting here as he pushes in on you because you're not worried about the Yugumo. And then here's where paying attention to your map and your mini-map walks off. Because he knows where he is, he can always just tweak where he's aiming off the mini-map if he doesn't feel confident on his aiming on screen. Here's where having the map awareness pays off. Just tweak it and keep hitting that Iowa as he pushes forward. There we go. And that's going to be dead Iowa. Oh, he sees the Yugumo. Takes the pot shots at the Yugumo. Here's an interesting call. Here's an interesting call. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. If I am the Kitakaze, looking at the smoke, 14 seconds left, yes, killing the Yugumo is good, but I probably say, you know what, the Yugumo's still a non-entity at this point with that low of health. Finish the Iowa. The Alaska finished it, but look, the Missouri's not in a position to finish it. The Rune's not in a position to finish it. I was going to continue to close on you, and you're 14 seconds away from your smoke running out. I would have been more concerned, and I would have said you should finish off the Iowa and then take the shots in, because you think, okay, so if you take the first 2 salvos onto the Iowa, which probably was enough to finish it, you could still turn and have all these salvos in the air and trying to hit the Yugumo. And maybe you don't kill the Yugumo, but now you can push the Yugumo. Looking at the game state as well, what he should be worried about is he should be worried about that rune. Where is that rune? Is that rune coming over here and about to come in on him and surprise the crap out of him? Where is that rune? JB secondaries are an issue, but he's not being spotted, so that's not the big thing right now. On this side, they need to be killing off that rune. Alaska needs to push around, but his big thing is, where is that missing rune? And now he's going to open fire on the JB. Once again, twitchy aim. Look at that first set, twitchy aim. I feel if you settle down and hold your first shot just a second longer, you're not going to lose that much damage, because you can still put out damage at a extreme rate with the amount of shots you can put in the air. But get that first salvo aimed correctly, and so you don't have to try to twitch and adjust your second, third, fourth, fifth salvos, because you're just losing out on damage. Like, let's see how many of these. On the 269 hits, 190 pens is good, 71 non-pens. I mean, part of that is hitting armor, but how many of those could be pens if you took that extra second to adjust? And even there, none of those shells hit, so that's like 8 shells right there that could have been a hit. And there, on that salvo, another 2 pens, 4 non-pens. He's looking to check the thing, trying to encourage the Alaska to back up. Alaska does need to back up because the Missouri messed up here. The Missouri your Missouri should push out here, finish off the JB. You don't need to go challenge the Rune and the Ibuki and such coming in, Missouri. You should be working on this JB, because your biggest threat isn't a half-health Rune over here. Your biggest threat is a 24,000 health Jean Bart and the missing possibly, we don't know how much health Rune, because it hasn't been seen in forever. So the Alaska's backing up, but the Missouri really should have pushed to assist. Meanwhile, very tight game. Capping is being king here. So, he's saying no need to hit the JB because of the fact that I don't have a shot on the JB. Focus down the Rune because it's at 4,000. He's making the right call. If he has smoke here, I would expect a smoke up potentially here and just mine down the Jean Bart. Now with 12-kilometer torps, I don't think he's going to do it because the JB's backing up. So, JB's too far out of range to hit. You just lost Nabuki, so they're down 1. This is a pretty tight game. Slav's DD play is definitely keeping Green Team in this, though. So, Slav is at this point, he's going to push over here because as one of 2 remaining DDs, he's going to say, hey, Yagumo's dead. We now know that the Yutland just pushed into B because it's not spotted. And we don't know where the YOLO is. Okay, to be fair, it could be the YOLO in B. But yes, the Yutland is what you would expect in B. So YOLO might come around to C, but if we can isolate out another DD and this Riga and get them, we're golden. And with the Missouri still having almost all of its health, this is a golden position to get them. So if I'm him, Missouri is opening fire on the Riga, and I, as the DD with 21,000 health, am opening fire on the Yutland. Gotta watch out for the torps. Slam the brakes here is the smart play because the torps are coming in. But yeah, if he can avoid the torps... Oh, Missouri took out the Yutland there. Well done, Missouri. So now if I do exactly what I am. I have a hide behind this island, and I'm just going to open up. And look, if you're watching this, observe how he's dancing just at the edge of that island. So he's staying unspotted by the Ibuki, because the Riga. The Riga cannot see him with that island. And so that's why he's doing those occasional quick scope outs, just to check how close to the edge of the island he is. Because he's just doing a yo-yo back and forth to keep burning down that Riga. And the Riga's messed up because the Riga just beached. Riga is dead. It's really a question of who kills him. So Rune gets him. Rune gets him now. That means that with that dead, he's going to push back towards C, because once again, where are you expecting the YOLO to be? Probably towards C. You don't expect the YOLO to push B after that. Still have a missing Rune out here, which is a worry, and you've still got a low Jean Bart, and there's the other Rune. So push C, that's going to be the advantage play to push here, because you're going to find those enemy ships and hopefully end them. And now with all 3 caps, you're 3 minutes away from winning, so honestly, he doesn't even need to push here. You can just let them come to you. At this point, if you're in this position in a clan battle, or even randoms, this is where you should be screaming on team chat, don't win harder. I see so many games people lose because they win harder. At this point, if you look at it, 3 caps in their advantage, 60,000 health in their advantage. Sure, it's the same number of ships, but that 60,000 health plus the 3 caps force them to come to you. Go over here and spot, but don't push through. Go over there and spawn, don't push through. And I'm not saying he's about to push through, but their goal, the Rune over there, and then the Missouri and the Kita here, should be to just keep it spotted. Just keep it spotted. Jetlin can push up to keep stuff spotted, but your goal is just to deny them caps at this point. You don't need to win harder, because winning harder leads to possibly lucky shots that end up killing stuff. Let's speed it up for a sec. Okay, so he's found the Rune now. And the Rune has pushed into C. He's going to drop the Torps, and then he's going to reload boost. And he's going to, if I'm him, what I am doing is I'm dropping the Torps there, and then I'm going to drop the Torps on this one, in case that Rune tries to back out. Because I don't think the Rune's pushing through. So I'm going to Torp both sides, in case that Rune decides for some reason to back and come this way. It's doubtful, but it is possible. A lot of people will argue, and there is a fair point to be made to argue you should launch both sets this way, but with where he is, I would launch both, one set there, one set there, try to get him caught in an awkward spot if he starts to back up. But I think Slav's going to go for option 1, which is completely fine. Ooh, and there's the YOLO. He should win this fight. He's going to drop the other Torps on the YOLO, which makes sense. Turn it out, and speed boost. So, and there's the Jean Bart, which is going to be where he's going to set his second set of Torps, because he's going to say, hey. And that's a good... I kind of hesitate on that back lead. So he's expecting the Jean Bart to turn in. I don't like that. I would expect, if anything... I don't know if I like that, because he launched on the back half of the white. I probably would have launched on the front half of the white, but it all depends. That's a RNG. It depends on what the Jean Bart decides to do. Because if the Jean Bart keeps pushing straight forward, you miss a bunch of Torps. If he doesn't, you're golden. As of right now, it looks like he's continuing to push forward. So, Rune didn't push out. That's okay. Still, at this point, you look at it. Okay, so there's been health bumped up, but you're still golden. Oh, and there's the YOLO. YOLO was very aggressive there. And that's going to be a dead YOLO. It's really who gets the kill on him. He's trying to get Torps off. There's the Torps. Oh, and the Missouri. Man, you could have had a Kraken by now with how many ships have been secured by other people, Slav. You could have had a Kraken by now, but still, really impressive game. And opening fire on the Rune makes sense. Okay. Now, if you've already opened fire on the Rune and you're already detected, one of 2 things should be happening here. Either A, you shouldn't open fire on the Rune and you should try to go dark. What is your concealment? Your concealment is normally 6.1 kilometers. Is that Jean Bart within 6.1 kilometers? We'll see. No, Jean Bart's not. So either you shouldn't fire at the Rune there one shot unless you're going to continue that shot, or spending time watching the Torps is a waste of time. You should be continuing to fire. Now, I personally would not have fired at the rune. I would have said, I'm not going to continue firing at the rune because I've got a Jean Bart 8.2 kilometers away from me. If anything, I'm going to set up and I'm going to start farming the Jean Bart to help my Missouri. Granted, I've also got a rune over here so I can stay dark and just detect, but those shots on the rune serve no real purpose right now. There's the smoke, so he's just going to smoke up and farm the Jean Bart. Aiming a little low there, feels like. It looks like it's working out. Yeah, he adjusts the aim. Oh my, and there's a good DCP. So just burn down the Jean Bart. And here's the big thing. He sat in a place for a while, and then he started to back up. And what that does is look at how much this is going to help, because the Jean Bart shots are going to miss him because he did the backup. And he's just going to continue to chunk down the JB. Is he going to get another one stolen? There's the high cal. Nice. And this is really just a textbook use of smoke here as a gunboat DD. You know, smoke up far enough away you're not going to be detected. Look, JB went from 40,000, and admittedly there's a rune in Missouri firing, to 2,400, and he's still got 2.7 kilometers before he's detected by the JB. No surprise he gets chunked there a little bit with the JB that close, and dead. Switch over to the rune. 30 seconds left. Will he get the Kraken? I think with that shot on Missouri, he has a decent chance of getting the Kraken. 23 seconds left. Yeah, he's got the Kraken, right? You're going to get the Kraken here, right? And that's going to be game there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so first off, congrats. Beautiful Confederate high-caliber Kraken. You played that phenomenally. Honestly, you could have had 7 or 8 ships if your teammates didn't kill secure them. The biggest things I'm going to say is if you're watching this, first off, observe his positioning. His positioning is beautiful. The sitting on those islands is just absolute textbook on what a gunboat DD should be doing to stay undetected if they don't want to waste smokes. Remember, he only has 3 smokes. And so all he did is by sitting on those islands, he saved the smokes for use later, like here where he needed them, and it was clean. The only thing I will say is, especially I agree with the IFHE. I mean, there's debate on IFHE versus Demolition Expert, but you're too twitchy. You're too twitchy. Look at how many shells. 20% of your shells are non-Pens torpedo protection hits, and that doesn't count the ones we didn't even see hit the ships because you were so twitchy. Take that extra second. Line up the shot cleanly. Better to take an extra second, line up clean shots, than be twitching around and miss 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of shots that, or have 4 sets of shots that aren't perfect or even decent because we twitch too much. Other than that, the only complaint I have is, like I said, I would not have fired on that rune. That got you detected. That's a dangerous thing to do with the Jean Bart there. If the Jean Bart's ready to fire HE at you there, that could be literally half your health. So I would have recommended not firing at that rune until you were ready to smoke up and then just mine down the JB. That 3 hits on the rune wasn't going to do anything. But phenomenal game, excellent job. Hope you enjoyed this replay review. We'll be back later this week or next week with another one. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Have a great day. This is Minnie, signing off.